If you are listening to this message, you are part of the resistance. What's up, everybody? I am your one of your freedom fighters who ask for nothing. All I want in return is for you to be educated, for you to know your rights, to know that you're free, and that nobody is better than you, and you're not better than anybody else. No matter what actions you do, no matter how you live your life, we are all the same. We're equal. But this video that I am making is for the Ball Revere Alex Jones contest of freedom fighters, which I am a part of. I really don't want to say my name, but since that's one of the rules technically, I will. Since I would love this to be anonymous, because my image, my name, how I look, who I am, all that does not matter. It's just the words that I say. But my name is Sofo Hale, and I have a lot of beef, and it's not really at anybody, it's with everybody, is because we're all ignorant to the fact that we are being suppressed, just being thrown into another form of slavery. And I have a lot of different topics that not a lot, but like at least 5 topics that I want to talk about. And I'm gonna start with the first one, and it's where will the world end up in 50 to 100 years? So by the 21st century, which is in exactly 87 more years, where are we gonna end up? How can we find out where we as in the human race will end up? Well, how can you make an educated guess without being a fortune teller? Well, you would have to look at our past and our presence. This will decide the fate of our civilization, and if we are meant for greatness or just ignorant fools with a chance to succeed in evolution only to destroy ourselves, because in reality we are too mentally and physically weak for this reality, at least. The hardest thing is to accept reality for what it is, because you probably have been grown up to believe a certain way, to act a certain way, to do things a certain way, because that's just how it's done. It's been done for for thousands of years. I said millions, and they don't even believe we've been here millions of years. But yeah, if you are told to believe all your life about one certain thing and then find out that it is a lie, you still would not believe it. You would still be just ignorant to the fact that it's not real. If I just leave it alone, it just won't, like a good example is God or religion. So many people have, this is at least like almost 90% of the earth, at least other people that live on earth, they have been basically grown up to believe in God. And not just God, Allah or whatever, different types of God. It's still all the same. It's believing in a higher power. And if you were told that it's all a lie, would you believe it? And you just have to think about that. Your dad, your mom, or your past ancestors, whatever, they believed in the same thing. And now that after wasting whatever amount of years wasting believing that, and then you're told that it's a lie, it hits you hard, because then you would have to also realize that your life basically was a lie. Like, all that was fake, because you put in all that effort for nothing. And that would really destroy a lot of people's, like, basically insanity. It will literally, people start to take their lives, if, religiously people pray to a higher being, and finding out that that does not exist, that would literally destroy them. But that's something else, I guess. Okay, so our emotions. We we as humans are capable of unlimited, unquestionable love and dedication to each other, but also lack the ability of understanding each other's trials and tribulation. There are some of us that have transcended what humans are capable of, and not just physically but also mentally. Most of us don't have a leash on our emotions, and some can't even control it. They let it control them. Anger, jealousy, greed, just some examples, are traits that help to survive through evolution. and are the same traits that are now holding us back to our full conscious awakening. We must decide now on what we want for our world and for ourselves and for our kids and for our survival of our race. For us to truly survive with one another and nature, we must take a good look at ourselves and either change for the better or accept the accept the extinction, I can't even say it, but you know what I'm talking about, of the humans on this earth. Basically, once we get angry, it's not you no more. It's literally, you can even say, a different person. You do things without thinking when you are not in control. Just like a person which is drunk, they have no control on what they say, on what they do. First thing that pops into their heads is being done, and it has consequences, you know. And I mean, you know, like, I don't want to make it look like, you know, half glass full, you know, but you know, if we can't control ourselves and our emotions, it will end up eating us alive, or make us do unspeakable things for love, for anger, for greed, or any trace that we have, any emotions. If we don't balance them, and one is out of order, one is higher than the other one, then we just will not succeed. You'll see the negative consequences that will come with that. War, genocide. Our countries wage war, killing our youth, so that the older generation can make billions and billions of dollars supplying weapons of mass destruction to kill innocent humans and profit off of it. We kill for oil, we kill for land, we kill for diamonds and gold, but we do all that out of greed and not survival. Aren't we a little more educated, at least now, you know, in the timeline we're at, with technology so abundant, to know that force will never work? And even if it did, would you really want to know that the land your fathers fought for and died for is the same land that was taken from another race through genocide? America was once free, a free land, a truly free land where Native Americans roamed. Different tribes lived, they respecting the land and the animals that once lived there. Now immigrants from England found their way to the shores, and to escape their problems from where they came from, which was England, and tried to survive in an environment that they never knew existed. Now it says that the Native Americans helped them by helping them understand the cycles of the growth season and gave them seeds to bear fruit for the survival of the immigrants. And then over time, greed took over. Okay? The greed of England and the people washed upon the shore made them do unspeakable things. Why? Well, if you have a gun that can shoot metal balls using black powder, and the only competition you have was wooden arrows, wouldn't you get mad with power and think you're better than the people with the lesser, I guess, technology or the lesser equipment? The genocide of a whole race lost just to gain land from shore to shore, putting the rest of the native putting the rest of the Native Americans that were too weak to fight, or the ones who gave up from a broken soul of seeing lost friends and families killed at their feet, into detention camps. That is which were exactly, almost exactly like what the Nazis did to the Jews. Now all that blood spilt was just to gain the land of another, and then to make it even worse, once the colony immigrants claimed that land as their own, then British, their mother country, wanted some in on some of the reward, basically, or in on some of the profits. And then now there's another war. Now, after fighting Native Americans for the land that was not even theirs and taking it by force, now they have to fight the British, which took a lot of lives, a lot of lives, a lot of lives. War for nothing. And now, as you can see, we're waging war where we already have our land, we already have everything we need, we already have everything established, but we're still going into other people's country and just Just what? For what? For weapons of mass destruction? Well, as you can see, they didn't find any in Iraq. They killed Saddam and everything. They hanged him publicly, and they still couldn't find nothing. Well, there wasn't any. It had to have been a cover up for something else. People say oil. People say this, that for their resources, but we'll never know. We'll know. I mean, one day we will, but for right now we won't. And it's just sickening that we still resort to petty violence just to take something that doesn't even belong to anybody. You can't claim any kind of material objects as your own because one day you will die. And when you die, you can't take that with you. The Egyptians believed being buried with their treasure, they can take that to their afterlife. Guess what? We're digging up their treasure and putting it in museums. So it's just a whole, you can even call it misunderstanding. It's just sad. That's the only really thing I can even really say about it. It's sad. It's sad that we still have to kill each other to take what is not ours. What somebody else actually worked hard for, take it by force. Especially land. How could you how could you try to take away land from somebody else, or how could you claim a land as your own? It belongs to Earth. If Earth wants, it'll just shoot lava, and that's it. That land that you claim, you got to get off of it. So I don't see the point of all this war genocide that we're committing, and for profiteering, basically, these tyrants just profiteering off our suffering. It's just very sad. Now this is a big one. Our environment. There's a saying, don't shit where you sleep and eat. So if that's the cause, then why do we disrespect our mother nature like the way we do? If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have the air to breathe, the food to eat, and the place to sleep. The reason life was even possible at the start was because Mother Nature became dependable and stayed consistent so that were able to develop, to evolve into what we are today. And apparently it's selfish, unappreciative beings that forget where we once came from. I really blame it on technology. Technology has gotten us spoiled, like little kids at the grocery store who thinks that the world revolves around them, and it doesn't. If our environment collapsed today, by tomorrow, everything you knew about life will dramatically change. No more going down to the store and buying food that you don't even need. It won't be like that. It's going to turn into hunting and killing for the survival of yourself and your family and your friends. And I guarantee more than half of the population of America will be picked out by evolution, as it is survival of the fittest. Knowing, knowing lots of us are lazy, ignorant bastards who couldn't even climb a tree to pick an apple, just wondering on how they're going to survive. Because it takes mental capabilities, physical conditions, and a lot of willpower. And most of us don't even have that. Why? I mean, we're slaves to our government, so I mean, how will we be able to survive on our own if our environment collapses tomorrow or tonight? But I'll break it down so we can answer this one important question: how can a simple person, people like you and me, can help our environment for the better? So it's like this. When somebody throws a cigarette or a trash out the window, or a receipt or whatever out the window when he's driving the car, it ends up on the street. Then from wind, momentum, and cars flying by, the trash will mostly end up in the storm drains. Now, do you know where the storm drain end up? Rainwater is collected and it is let back into creeks, rivers, and bodies of water. And it all depends on your location. All that trash would go into the natural bodies of water that inhabit different types of living things and injure them, and take away their right and their ability to breed or reproduce. This will result in an extinction of many types of species that we need to keep the circle of life in order. And this is just on a small scale, just individuals. Just imagine big companies, businesses, organizations that pollute just to take a shortcut from cleanly disposing of their waste that they get from making unnecessary materials that do not decompose and sit for hundreds of years. And also, they try to sell that to us. Plastics, metal objects, stuff that won't disappear for hundreds, even thousands and thousands of years, like power plants. Nuclear power plants, just 1 gallon of that, it will stay on this earth for, what was it, millions of years or something? Like, it won't just disappear. And guess what they're doing with that? They're burying it deep, deep underground. And it's unsolvable. It's like a double-edged sword. We get energy out of nuclear fission, but guess what? The byproduct, the waste, where do we do? Where were we gonna do with that? Just throw it out into our rivers, throw it out into the oceans, send it to the freaking moon, to the sun, or something? No, we are burying it underground. We are burying our problems. Are not even looking for solutions. That's why we are very lazy. We just from our drug policies to whatever you want to think about it. We take the easy way out. The easy way out. And our environment, it won't take more of this, man. As you can see, even right now, it's changing. It's dramatically changing. The polar ice caps are melting. Our oceans are increasing a little bit, and earthquakes, all these I can't even call it natural. It's unnatural anymore. I mean, it's going down the drain, basically. We're going down the drain. Like, another thing, there was this thing called HARP, HARP. What was it? HARRP or something like that, and it's a machine basically that sends um, radio waves, something like radio waves, up into the atmosphere so they can heat it up, so they can be able to. Basically, the concept is to be able to control nature. GMO, genetically modified organisms. Food that are made in the labs, then grown in large amounts to satisfy the demand for cheap food. It makes sense because we're 7 billion strong and we're literally eating up all our resources. So yeah, let's make some crops that can grow twice as fast. Well, there's always consequences, always action, a reaction of the action you took. I know I said it kind of weird, but literally, it's no different than injecting bleach or poison into our bodies. I mean, there is one difference. The poison will kill you much faster, and the GMO food will slowly eat away at your insides, causing new, unseen diseases that, in our timeline, are uncurable. It's basically death that we are feeding our families and loved ones, and even ourselves. And the funniest part of this joke quotation is that most of us either just don't know, don't care, or are just ignorant to not believe in it. Yes, not believe in genetically modified organisms. When we were little, our moms would tell us to eat our vegetables so we can grow up to be strong. And at that age, I really did not understand why, I did not like it. But she was absolutely right. Absolutely right. But guess what? Now, I can't believe that I'm going to be saying this. Like, I can't believe it, like, but that saying is as false as all these false flag attacks on America. Now it is more dangerous to eat vegetables that you buy at Giant Food or Safeway because the plants themselves have pesticides unnaturally added to kill bugs that try to eat the plant as it is growing. Yes, the bug's stomach explodes, but what they say is it's in very small doses to where it won't affect humans. Well, guess what? Nature outsmarted these B word because a report on the Wall Street Journal spoke of a rootworm in the U.S. state of Iowa that had evolved resistance to the strain of genetically modified corn developed especially for them, because they had that problem, to basically triumph it and kill these rootworms. But guess what? They basically built an immunity to it, and they're still eating the corn with all this pesticides in it. It's basically super bugs that we are creating, and it's a whole new ball game with that, with unpredictable consequences that could have been stopped, and that was also foreseen. They knew this would happen. It doesn't take a genius to see that. Like us, when we get sick, once we heal from it, is because our bodies built immunity to that virus. Same thing with what they're putting out. The animals eat it, some of them die off, but then the kids, the offsprings, will basically have it already in their bodies to where they can eat it and nothing will happen.
All this could have been avoided. All this could have been avoided. And another example is going to be GMO food. GMO fish that they are releasing into our oceans. For example, GMO salmon. It grows twice as fast as regular wild salmon, and it's twice as big. Now, the GMO salmon that are being released into the wild will compete with the wild fish, including endangered Atlantic salmon, for habitat, food, and mates. And because they were genetically grown to be bigger in the labs, to grow twice as fast, the wild fish have no chance whatsoever to be able to survive because their competition, which is the same salmon as them, are genetically made to be bigger, stronger, faster. Now, imagine then sharks and other animals that feed on these wild fishes. They start to eat the GMO fishes because really you can't tell the difference until you actually start to eat it and see what happens. So, what do you think will happen? Uh, don't you think it's gonna be like a domino effect to where it'll start to kill other species that eat on these fishes, and and we need those fishes that so the waters can be regulated, and the cycle of life won't be broken. And also GMO fishes do not have the same nutritional value as wild fishes. In fact, the genetically modified fishes, they have been added with insulin and vaccines already in their DNA. Like, what? Already in their DNA. So we're not eating anything that's going to give us nutritional value. We're just eating to fill up. Then what's the point of eating if it's not to gain the nutritional value of whatever you're eating? I eat an apple so I can get the nutrition out of that apple. But they're going to give me something that looks exactly like an apple that has no nutritional value that's just going to fill me up. Well, then what's going to happen to my body? Does my body need this nutrition to survive? So then what's going to happen to me? Am I going to die? Am I going to get diseases? Now another example are honeybees. Man, honeybees. Honeybees are needed for the survival of humans, of this planet, of animals in general. They help plants, flowers, trees grow and multiply by spreading the plant's own pollen to different areas as they feed and go back to their home. They feed they, they feed people and animals like bears with rich honey which is very, very nutritional. Without this pollination, you could kiss all these crops goodbye, all these trees, all these stuff that the honeybee get the nectar from. You can kiss it goodbye because who's going to be there to be spraying the pollen around so the plant can grow abundantly all throughout the area. Not bees, because they're dying off. Why? I'll tell you why. But first, raw honey, not the fake commercial honey, has a lot of health benefits. Like honey is a very great immunity system builder. It's really good for your immunity. It'll help your stomach, and it's a very good natural remedy for many illnesses, and usually typically minor ones. It helps fight cancer because it possesses carcinogen preventing and anti-tumor properties. It's really effective at healing cuts and burns and perfect for hangovers. And also an energy booster. You need to go to sleep and you're having trouble? Well, guess what? A little bit of honey and milk warmed together, that really does help some people. But guess what? They are going extinct. Why? Why are they going extinct? Are we killing them? Are we hunting them down? Something like that. The pollen that they collect from GMO plants that have been put in all over this America, like most of the commercially grown farmers who grow a lot of corn, a lot of different products, different plant products, they're using GMO seeds. And when the bees take the nectar, the pollen from these plants, they are dying off. Their stomachs blow up. Their insides can't operate, and they're not building an immunity to it. We don't even want them to do that, but they're not. They're just dying off. So we're literally causing another extinction of another race. Yeah, yeah, bees are a race. They are a species, and we're killing them off. And we need them. We need their honey. We need them to do their job, but we're stopping them. Now this is a great one. Oh man, this is a great one. I really wanted to actually go on this. The voting. Woof. Voting. I am able to vote now. I'm past 18. I can become a citizen whenever I want, and yeah, I can vote. But guess what? I'm not gonna vote. Why? Got a couple of reasons. One is just it's fake. But let me explain more on that. Every 4 to 8 years, we get another presidential candidate that tells us what is he gonna do to change, to change, and how's he gonna help the people, and a lot more bullshit promises that at least I know won't come to pass. What's the point from voting from two evils? It's a lose-lose scenario, basically choosing from a lesser evil. Nor Democrats nor Republicans will look out for the interest of the people of America. To them, it's a game, but to us, it's a rule of law. Promising change to get our votes, and then once elected, wage war, waste billions, in fact trillions, on failed drug war, attack and silence the real patriots of America as they are terrorists and need to be killed. The only thing on their mind is how they can cut back spending on the people when the money they're cutting back was for the people. Instead of building roads and hospitals, they put themselves and they put themselves above the law and their own interest before ours. And they think they won't get caught, but they forget that they're humans, and humans 100% of the time make mistakes, as we are all not perfect. But guess what? Nobody calls them out on this. These people like Bush, he should have never won. He cheated, but they make all these promises that they do not keep. It's I can't believe that people are not like going crazy, or people are not understanding that whatever they say is just to get elected. Now, I want to go on Obama real quick. Let me tell you right now. The only reason, and I'm going to say it again, the only, Only, right? That's how you spell it. The only reason that Obama got elected was because he was black. I'm going to say it right now. The only reason he was elected was because he was a black. He wasn't white. That's the only reason. That's literally the only reason he got elected. All that promises, all this, oh yeah, blah 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 blah, blah, nothing, nothing. You see all these death papers he's signing, trying to take away our guns, our liberty, our pursuit of happiness. He says he was gonna help out medical marijuana, but he hasn't done a lick of work. Maybe he hasn't been raiding as much as the Bush administration has, but still, he doesn't even bring it up. He thinks it doesn't even exist, while people are still getting jailed. Teens, adults going to jail for a gram of weed, and it's not for a day or a week. No, it's a couple years, man, couple years. But guess what? We don't care because we don't understand each other. We don't understand each other's pain. We don't go through the pain another a guy in jail the time he's doing. We don't go through that, so we don't care about what he did to get himself there and how we can fix it. We never want to fix it. We always want to throw it under the couch. And presidents, you are nothing more than false prophets. Not even that's too much. I can't even say prophets. You are falsely leading the American people into a trap, basically. And I for one will not fall for it. My third eye is awake. And the only thing that hurts me is the people around me. They are still blind to the fact. They are happy that he's our president. But guess what? He's doing so much evil stuff behind our backs that we. And it's funny because I can't prove none of this, right? You can prove all this. You can go to Google. You can go to Bing. You can go wherever you want and search all this. But mother truckers like him shouldn't even exist on this world. Now, world domination. World domination is a really good one, too. Many humans have tried to dominate the world in the past, and all have failed. In the 20th century, another group of wealthy, evil, corrupt humans have not only planned, but moved their plans into operation, and it's called the takeover of the mind of the people, equaling world domination. They also have a best shot because we are at the most technologically part of our evolution. As you can see, we don't have to walk. We can take a bus if you don't have a car. We have bikes. We have planes to get to the other side of the world. So it's one of the easiest times to take over because most of the work has been done. Now all you have to do, like I said, is control the minds of the people, and you basically have world domination. And one way is you control the food we eat, and you control the people. Now, they want a world where stupid, dumb, zombie-like people that take any order, no matter how horrible it is, and complete it with no backtalk, no sass, or even questioning their own actions and morals. A zombie really does perfectly explain it. Without humans on this planet, there would be no point in putting any effort to take it over. For the future of Earth, for the future of Earth, man has been given the job, not just the job, the responsibility to improve Earth, help it evolve, and in return, we will also evolve with it. Many riches is given to us by Earth, and the only way to get it is by the human element intervention. They, and I'm be using that word a lot, they, as in the globalists, need man to develop Earth science and our general understanding of who we are. So then they can just come out of nowhere and take it all away, all that hard work. They by themselves are nothing, weak, less important than shit. Because at least shit has a purpose. Manure for dirt. But they know how to manipulate the minds of weak people, as they are cowards themselves, as they are weak themselves. So they know how to control the weak people. What to say to them, what to show to them. And let's talk truth. We all are literally walking robots. The only difference is that we can feel. We have our own thoughts and emotions. Each of us have gone through different experiences and different paths, but end up in the same destination, death. Now, if they can do something like maybe dumb down most of the population through, let's say, example, fluoride in our water, then they can get very, very close to obtaining zombie-like creatures, basically, to unknowably carry out their orders of mass destruction. After all the work has been done to change the earth to their images, then depopulation will occur. Minorities like you and me, patriots like you and me, immigrants like you and me are not welcomed in their so-called perfect world, quotations. Even though we all created this perfect world, quotations again. By the way, this is not any perfect world. It's the other opposite side of perfect world. I mean, we're getting there. We have done most of the gruesome work. All we have to do now is wake up and realize that we need to change. That we cannot keep doing what we're doing. This is just insanity. We're doing this. You know how the other empires before us, like Rome and all that, you know how they fell? Because of ignorance, because of greed, is because of what they did not know. It can hurt you, and it did. That's why all these cultures, all these civilizations are now not here anymore. All we can find is fossils, remains of their once flourish civilization. But a lot of people don't believe is it won't happen to us. Like that's what they believe. They believe that we are different. We're lucky, I guess. That's not gonna happen to us. But they're false. It's happening to us right now. We just don't see it. We're basically from one slavery to the next. They just word it different, or it's seen different. Work. Work is almost exactly like slavery. We just get paid for it, right? So after listening to all this, you come down to a point where what to the question to where what the hell do we do? People like you and me, small people, what that don't have money, that don't have big people influence. What do we do to change and help this world? There is one thing that you can do: educate yourself. Know what the hell is going around in your environment, in your neighborhood. If there is something that you do not like, go and protest it. That is your right, not just your right, but something that you're born with. Like you have a mouth, you have to use it. You have a brain, you have to use it. Don't be lazy. Don't let other people do things you can do yours for yourself. Don't if there's something broken, don't go buy something new. First, try to fix it. Why would I fix it? I have the money to go buy it. Oh, I'm helping the economy. No, no, you're not helping nothing. You're making it worse for yourself. Something's broken. You try to fix it. That was a saying back in the day. If you rip your pants, you get another sheet and you sew it in. That's why people had little different squares or whatever on their clothes because they fixed something that was broken. They reused, recycled basically. But it's educate yourself, man. Educate yourself. Cannabis, weed, the stigma around it. You would think that it's a more dangerous drug than cocaine and all that, and on paper it is because it's Schedule One. Weed, cannabis, it's Schedule One. Marijuana is Schedule One. But guess what? Cocaine is Schedule Two. Schedule 1 has no medicinal value whatsoever. Nothing. Nada. But they're saying cocaine has some medicinal value. That's why it's Schedule 2. Why? Marijuana, you can, you can, it's so funny because the whole reason. See, if you educate yourself on it and not believe what the government is telling you, you would find out that around 1932, a guy didn't want hemp, which is the cousin of marijuana. Hemp, you can't get high off of it. You can't get high off of it. You can smoke as much as you want, and you will not get high. You will just get a headache, basically. He wanted to outlaw hemp because it is a number one competitor of wood industry, of you can make literally anything that you have in your home, anything that you use, you can literally make it out of hemp. Shoes, hemp. Clothes, hemp. The seeds, they're actually good. They have omega-3 fatty acids, I think. That's really good for you. You can eat the seeds. You can make rope out of it. You can make houses out of it. You can make cars out of it. The first car that was made by Henry Ford was ran on hemp oil, basically hemp gas, basically. But no, they want to use gasoline. Why? Well, gasoline, it's very hard to get to. The oil, it's very hard to get to. You gotta dig, feet like miles underground just to hit a patch of it, so you can suck it back up. And for you to do that, it has to be big companies with big machinery to do it. That's why they want to use gasoline because regular people like you and me, we can't get to the gas. We can't get to the oil trapped down inside the earth from dinosaurs and plants and all that, from them dying in millions of years, turning into crude oil. We can't get to that, but they can. That's why, that's why they want to, they commercialize to use gasoline instead of hemp oil. Not just hemp oil, but, corn oil. You can even make cars go with corn oil. But they don't. They want to profit off all this, so that's why they use gasoline. But I'm going a little off the topic. But if something as cannabis is illegal, maybe not all in 50 states now. Finally, they're waking up, but still, it's still illegal by federal law. No matter where, it's still illegal. If you get caught with it, you're still going to jail. Why? Like, wait, why do you want to hold this back? Why? You can still profit off helping the people. You need, like, I don't know why people always wanna profit off suffering. Why you can, like, these tyrants, you can make money off helping the people because we need help. You can make money off of it, but no, they just wanna. I think you get a satisfaction out of it. I think they get a satisfaction out of just seeing people in pain and seeing people suffering. I 100% believe that because there's no reason that we're living in this world where we have to fight every single day to survive. That was back then. That was before technology. Now we can live actually, fairly comfortable. But no, you want to put all these problems that do not exist. one thing. Every problem we have, almost, or I'll say 99.90 whatever percent of the problems that we are facing today is man-made problems. Problems that never existed until man created it. So how do we get out of it? Man has to find a solution. And the solution is, again, educate yourself so you can know who is the bad guy and who is gonna be basically by your side to help you out. There's so many other topics too. There's so much other evils that's going on in this world that I would love to talk about, but it would take me forever, literally. I would probably die before I can tell you all the problems in this world. And you know what? Why? Why am I gonna do the work that you need to do to wake up? That's it. Hopefully, all these videos from the Paul Revere contest wakes a couple people up. And if all this work, of all this that I said, if it even gets to one person under, understands a little bit and wants to change, I've done my job. One person, even one person, I've done my job. Maybe not as well as much as I wanted to, but one person makes a very big difference, because that one person tells another person. That one person right there that he just told tells two people. Two people can tells three. Three, four, you know what I'm saying? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's already 10 people that know. There you go. Please, people, educate yourself. Know that you are free. Know that nobody can hold you back. Whatever you want to accomplish, you can accomplish it. There is no stopping us. The human intervention, the human element, basically. It's us. It's us. We are shaping our earth. We are shaping our future. We are shaping the universe. We are shaping our dimension. And the question is, do you want to be led by evil people that do not care about you, about your well-being, that don't care if you die, survive, whatever? Or do you want to be led by all of us, basically?